Hey everybody, this is Sarah Elise, and I'm making this video at around 11:30 a.m. on September 7th, 2025. I'm just talking about the eclipse that's happening in a couple of hours. I mean, it's almost there right now, but the exact opposition between Sun and Moon is happening at 2:08 Eastern Standard Time today on September 7th. We're having a full eclipse, a total eclipse, and at 15 degree of Virgo, Pisces. So this is what would be called a north node eclipse, meaning it's activating the north node of the moon. And what's happening with north node eclipses is we're invited into sort of a remedial situation. We're invited into something more. We're invited to go beyond a pattern that's been holding us back. And when the nodal axis shifted into Virgo Pisces on January 12th of 2025, we were thrust into a time on the planet which is being ruled by Virgo's shadow. And I believe at this moment, or this eclipse, we are ready to break beyond that shadow and move into something more illuminated. So what is Virgo's shadow? Well, Virgo's shadow is the shadow of persecution. It's the shadow of crisis, moral righteousness. It's the shadow of victimization, of either victimizing or being victimized. It's the shadow of persecuting and being persecuted. It's the shadow that takes us down to our most horrible, deflated, hypercritical, shame-based self, or makes others reduce to their most horrible, shame-based self. The words shame on you are very much Virgo shadow words. Shame on you. Have you noticed in the last 8 months that you have felt ashamed, that you have felt persecuted, that you have felt victimized, that these parts of you have risen, that you felt sometimes brittle or, you know, reduced in some way? Or have you felt that you've been inflamed and morally righteous and victimizing others, hypercritical of the way they've behaved, looking at them with your no, no, no kind of tone? Have you been morally righteous against their behavior, against their choices? Have you let that righteousness blind you to facts or to reality? Have you been so dogmatically, ideologically attached to your perspective that you have let yourself become the shame on you, the persecutor? This paradigm or this kind of complex shadow, what it does is it separates us. It's a separative consciousness. When you're looking at another and going shame on you, they're different. They're all of a sudden separate than you. You are becoming the one who is judging them. They are different than you. You're not noticing or recognizing the humanity in them. You're reducing them to the bare minimum that they are. You're looking at them from this reductionist perspective. And the opening up into Pisces that's being invited is the ability to see that there is more, that when we shame and blame, when we sit on that shame on you place where we're just violating each other again and again and again with our moral righteousness, there's no redemption there. There's no solution there. There's like a wrestling match, or it's a ping pong match of blame and shame, right? And all of the realities, all of the details, all of the reasons, all of the justifications, none of it matters, because the truth is that we're actually one with each other, that there's a higher ground that we can step up into, that all of the suffering, all of the misery, all of the fear, all of that brokenness and that brittleness and that emptiness and that reductionism can be redeemed if we allow ourselves to feel our emotions and feel each other's humanity. Feel each other's humanity. When we stop trying to take each other down and persecute each other and harm each other, we feel each other's humanity and we elevate up into a place of global humanity, love, compassion. bearing witness to the suffering of all sides, bearing witness to the right and the wrong, the choices, the mistakes, all of it, and seeing it from a place of wisdom or a place of witnessing or a place of compassion, a place of understanding. And this is just starting in the collective now. Okay, we've been on I don't know, it was about a roller coaster ride of crisis for the entirety of 2025. And it is just starting to open up. This eclipse is going to begin a 6-month reunification cycle where we can start talking to each other again. Maybe we can start taking a breath again, trusting life again. Maybe we can get beyond this persecutor construct and start negotiating and start helping and start healing and start understanding and start coming up with solutions. It's been quite an intense, very tense time on the planet, very constricted energy. And I feel like this eclipse is going to break that and enable our perspective to shift to something bigger. So in your life, if there are ways that you've been constricted or reduced or minimized or feeling limited or feeling too focused on details or too focused on righteousness or what is good and what is bad and what is right and what is wrong, this eclipse is an opportunity for you to kind of open up and shift your paradigm so that you can see something more and take responsibility for that. Like really take responsibility for that. Saturn is definitely part of this eclipse. It's going to be part of the next one as well. And we want to be able to identify the bigger picture and see beyond the limitations of our own judgment structure and see beyond our own ideas of right and wrong, good and bad, and try to take this amplified perspective. And that's what this eclipse should start to help us do. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you.